Today I'm answering some questions that people often think about but don't always ask out loud. So let's get into it.
How do realtors really feel when they're competing for the same listing, especially against someone from their own office? Is it awkward or just part of the business?
Well, I want to win. So it can be awkward for some, but it's part of the business, especially in our brokerage. We have over 100 agents, and we do 80% of the business through our office locally. We're competing against each other a lot. So it's just the way it is, but it's okay.
How do you, as a realtor, juggle the many hats that you wear? You're a therapist, a coach, a friend, a negotiator, a marketer, even a texting buddy. How do you do it all at once for every client?
That's a good question. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on. I think that prioritizing what's important versus what can wait is very key. But also, I think clients want to be heard. And a lot of times if they're asking a question, even if maybe it doesn't seem as important, that there's usually something important behind it. So they want to be acknowledged, they want to be heard. And I think taking the time to respond I think that's what separates a great agent from a good agent.
When a transaction closes and you stop talking every day to that client, do you ever really miss those clients?
I think that probably my clients have a breath of fresh air that they don't have to talk to me anymore. It's different though, moving along, because really most people are really a lot of fun to deal with, but we're working through stressful situations, sometimes awkward situations. There's a way that people act when they're not stressed versus when they're stressed. So being able to help people work through that and getting to that result, I think once we're there and they've moved or the sale is closed, that everybody's just ready to move on and next. So for me, it just opens the door to help somebody else.
How often do clients turn into real friendships after the deal is done? Does that happen more than people think?
I like to be friends with my clients, I do. But at the same time, I think that when they hire me or work with me, that they want a professional that can get the job done. And sometimes that's having difficult conversations. I think a lot of realtors have a hard time crossing that line between telling them the truth, being honest, and getting a result versus being their friend and not wanting to hurt their feelings. And so I would say I'm professional realtor first, friend second with clients. But yeah, some clients have turned into great friends. Some of my best friends are past clients.
Is honesty always the best policy in real estate? And has there ever been a time where being completely honest backfired?
Well, first of all, yes, being honest is super important. There's situations though where the way that information is presented can make or break a deal. And so as a realtor, to be able to sit back and have the facts in front of you, a situation you're having to deal with, I think that being smart about how you're presenting information, definitely don't lie. Lying is not good. Telling the truth always, but being smart about the way that the truth is delivered, that makes all the difference.
Do realtors secretly want every listing no matter what? Or are there times when you walk away from business because of price or because it just doesn't feel right?
Yeah, for me, I would say if there's motivation from the seller to move, then I want to work with those people, whether they're buyers or sellers. If there's no motivation to make this change, then you can find out very quickly that this is just not going to go anywhere. So, but yeah, if the motivation is there, I'll work with them and take them on. Yeah.
Just like parents aren't supposed to have a favorite child, can realtors have favorite clients? And what actually makes an ideal client?
Oh, well, I got to go right back to motivation. Ideal client is motivated to move and sell. Quite often they're the most receptive to advice, they're pricing properly. But I think, yeah, definitely realtors click or connect with certain clients better than others, and that comes down to personality styles. So one of the things that I studied was the different personality styles, and I know that I have to be versatile to change, to be able to adapt to my client's style, because if I didn't do that, I'd really only connect with the people who are just like me. And I think that's one of the big challenges for a lot of realtors is they don't have the skill of versatility, and so they're not able to connect with as many people, which makes it harder in this business. I hope you can see that there's really a lot more to real estate, and it really is a skill-based business, and those skills can be learned. And the best way to learn it is by doing. And so after doing a lot of transactions over the years, really get an in-depth skill set to be able to handle a lot of problems and help people move forward. So if you'd like to have a conversation about your situation, buying or selling, or maybe you just need a friend to talk to, reach out. I'm happy to chat. Thanks again for watching.